And welcome to another episode of Wrestle Talk with Three Goofballs. I'm James, and alongside me is Pat and Raceland. And this is the Summerslam reaction show of the Wrestle Talk with Three Goofballs. And pretty good show for the most part, but we're going to start off talking about the Raw Tag Team Championship match, which included the B Team taking on the Revival. Raceland, what is some things about this match that stood out to you?
I didn't watch the match, honestly.
Oh, Lord.
I wasn't invested.
So, you know the B Team won.
The B Team did win.
Okay, so tell us about that. Now, how do you feel about the B Team winning?
I mean,
Are you like me and you're meh? It's just,
I'm mad only because if they were to have lost, it would have felt useless that they held the tag team titles at all.
Yeah.
But, I mean, do I want them as tag team champions anymore? Not necessarily.
What about you, Pat? I mean, you said you kind of felt mad about it.
Yeah, I agree with everything that Rayson said. This was one match that I just really didn't care about them adding.
So I'm the same way with you guys. You know, I really didn't pay attention to it. It was one where I listened to it in the background. It was a match that felt like it could have been left off the kickoff show and the card in general, and I would have been perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They definitely could have thrown another match or two. Well, no, because they ended probably about 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
really didn't have to throw any matches back down. So
Yeah.
it was okay, but
It just wasn't a very entertaining match, in my opinion.
No, I agree. All right, now we're going to move on to Rusev Day and El Idolo. So, Rayson, who did you have in this one?
I had Rusev Day.
Okay, now tell us what you thought about it.
Well, it was a win-win for me, and
Right.
because if Rusev Day were to have won, I would have gotten a point in the predictions poll, but they didn't win.
Nope.
So
Which was shocking because Aiden didn't even get involved.
Aiden didn't get involved at all, which I thought
I thought he was going to.
I
I thought he
too.
was at least going to get involved at the end.
He finally
and
obeyed.
probably help them win, but
Well,
no,
I'm
he didn't even
talking
get
about
involved.
like after the match. Like I thought he was going to go out and
Oh,
attack Rusev
yeah.
because before the match, he was telling Rusev that he has a song that would be perfect for the moment, and Rusev told him just to back off and not go out there and leave him alone.
But that works in Aiden's favor. I mean, you can't win with him. You can't win without him. So what do you do from
Right.
there?
Right.
But yeah,
Pretty
it
much
was
just move on.
He's going to have to. At
We're going
this
to have to wait
point.
Tuesday night to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose we are.
And again, the other win for me would be just if Andrade would win, and I mean he didn't pick up the victory, as Zelina Vega did.
Yeah.
I mean she was supposed to go for the dirty pin with her feet on the ropes, but
Right.
Didn't really go out that way.
she was too far away. She's too short to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing something like that without it being noticed.
Right.
But the match was exactly what it needed to be.
Right.
I
that-
agree.
Vega pinning Lana and what was supposed to be not a clean victory because she's trying to use the ropes for leverage. But if Andrade would have got pinned and Rusev would have got pinned, it would have harmed both of their potential for pushes down the road. So I like how they ended this match.
It was definitely a good ending.
Yeah, it was a very
Yeah.
good ending for the match.
Mm.
We're going to move on to the next thing on the list, and that's going to be the Miz and Daniel Bryan match that was very much anticipated for a very long time now going into SummerSlam. And Pat, you know, throughout the night you were like, man, this kind of feels underwhelming for all the hype that we've been getting. Racing, you said the same thing. So let's start with you, Pat. You know, what are some thoughts about this match?
Well, it was definitely highly anticipated for me. Probably, I was aiming it to be the match of the night for me just because I love The Miz. He's awesome. Daniel Bryan is not so awesome. The match was way too long. It went on way too long. You saw a bunch of the same moves. Of course, they have the same move set, which Daniel Bryan copied.
Miz copied.
Wrong.
No,
Who was there
Miz
first?
actually copied it.
No,
but
Who
well,
was there
well,
first?
Okay, you think about it this way. Yes, Miz copied from Daniel Bryan, but who taught Daniel Bryan when he came to WWE?
Okay,
The Miz. So
Yep.
I'm with Pat on this one.
Yep,
All right,
Miz
well, I lose.
wins. But anyway, back to the match. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Racing, do you feel the same way?
Yes, wholeheartedly. I almost took a nap, honestly.
He did too.
I quit watching it after like the first 2-3 minutes because it was just the same moves back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it was like, okay, we're not being original here.
Yeah, very repetitive.
Let's change something up here. Miz, you didn't have this move set before you were in this whole thing against Daniel Bryan. You think, what, this was 8 years in the making? Think back 9 years ago. He didn't have the same moveset. Pull out some of those moves.
I agree. I think, this match was very repetitive, and I think that really took away from the match. However, the ending was, not bad. They pretty much had Miz get a pair of brass knucks from Maurice along the ringside, and
that was pretty cool.
That was,
good enough for me.
It was good for me, but it's definitely going to set up to another match, whether it be Miz, Bryan at Hell in a Cell, or a mixed tag match with possibly Brie Bella coming into picture, as we saw in the backstage segment.
Right.
That that's could happen.
It could, yeah.
I look forward to it. I don't know if I said it on the top 10 women's list beforehand, or if I've said it before, because I know I've talked to you guys about it before, but even before the pay-per-view, I called that at some point we would see a mixed tag team match between the two of them.
You did.
Between Miz and Maurice, and then Daniel and Brie. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I wouldn't be opposed to it either.
I wouldn't be either.
I think it'd be very entertaining and a good addition to the storyline.
If they don't do what they did tonight and drag it on.
I think this is going to be dragged on.
It's going to drag out for a little bit.
Yeah. I think the reason they're dragging on is because they've been waiting so long to be able to pull the trigger for this storyline that they're going to make every most of it that they can.
Yeah.
I can see this.
where they're going with it, but
I can see this going all the way to TLC in December.
I think it could probably go until WrestleMania, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be some time taken off in between. It's, again, like I've said before, it's going to be a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn thing. They're going to take a break for a minute or two, go fight somewhere else. Maybe Miz will become a United States champion, or Daniel Bryan will become United States champion. And then they'd fight at WrestleMania.
That's a good possibility. I can see that.
And in my opinion, this is probably the better way to get Daniel Bryan to possibly re-sign. He said that he's like 90% sure he's going to re-sign. Yeah. But this is probably the better way to show that, okay, Miz won with Maurice's help, and so we're looking into a possible mixed tag team match between Miz and Maurice, and then Bryan and Brie. If I ever had the potential to work with my future wife in a wrestling ring, like Daniel Bryan has the opportunity to, I wouldn't resign. Wouldn't you guys?
No, yeah.
Oh, I definitely would. I think, and plus, they actually have some for Daniel Bryan, so why wouldn't you resign? It's not like, oh, you lost and your contract's up, we have nothing for you. They're going they have something for him in store at the moment, and there's going to be much more to come. So if you're Daniel Bryan, if I'm Daniel Bryan, I'm resigning in a heartbeat.
All right, moving on. Next was Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor.
Now, this Demon Finn Balor.
Demon Finn made his return.
In a squash match fashion.
Yeah.
But,
sort of.
I'm so glad
there were three squash matches tonight.
Yeah.
One dragged out, one was quick, and then there was Corbin and Finn, who was in between.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm glad it was a squash, because I really didn't want to see another Finn Balor, Baron Corbin match. We've seen a lot too much of it as it is.
Yes, but it was good that we got Demon Finn.
That's the only positive for it.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Really, for me.
Yep, because if it would have been regular Finn, it would have been like, okay, well, here we go again.
Yeah.
I just want to know where they go from here.
Yeah.
I'm sure Corbin's probably going to want a rematch on Raw.
Oh, probably.
Corbin's going to pull out the card. I wasn't ready for Demon Finn. And then,
well, he tried to before the match.
Yeah.
He was trying to get the referee to call it off because he wasn't expecting Demon.
Yeah.
So,
not much to say about that match.
No, not at all. Next on the card, we got Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. James?
Well, Bludgeon lost, but they retained because of disqualification. I kind of wish the match would have ended differently, just so we don't have to get another one. I want to see more of the SmackDown Tag Team division than what we're getting.
I want to see the club, for Pete's sake.
Exactly. That's kind of what I want the club to get a chance, and now we have to wait even longer for the club to get a chance because the New Day is going to get another title match because of the disqualification.
The Bar will get another a title match at some point. Sanity's going to get a title match. The club is just kind of fading out.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't either. If they want the club, honestly, if I'm Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, you're making decent money sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
but
that gets old.
Is it what you want to do?
Is it worth it?
If you make it,
no.
if I make enough sitting on the bench, yeah, but
they can go somewhere else and make pretty much the same amount of money, if not maybe a little bit more, depending on where they go. And
I don't think
I don't think they make more. They'll probably make a little bit more less, but
they
be in action.
wouldn't make any more than what they're probably making now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could go either way, but
Now, New Japan is a big promotion, but it's not WWE big.
Yeah.
well, right.
But let's talk about the match for a minute here. What do you think of the match quality besides the ending?
I mean, it
wasn't
a bad match.
There was some new spots from what we hadn't seen probably because Xavier Woods was in the match and it wasn't Kofi and Big E, it was Big E and Woods.
I was shocked they went that combination too.
Yeah.
I like the combination. I like Woods.
I like that. I like seeing Woods in
I
action.
do too, but
he's getting better.
It seems like every time you see him,
they always lose.
They always lose.
Well, I mean, they won.
They won the night,
but they didn't
not
get
in good
the
fashion.
No, they won, but yeah. All right, now moving on from that one onto Cruiserweight Championship with Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak. Now this match was a bit of a I got mixed feelings with it, to be honest. Like
Me too.
I wasn't excited for it, but I was surprised by it. Like, it was really good.
Yeah, 205 Live is good now that Triple H is taking over. We've told you this multiple times.
I don't watch it.
Yeah,
I don't
you-
watch
We're
it.
gonna have to start watching.
I know.
it.
You're gonna have to
Well,
start.
that's the problem. They come on late, but we're gonna have to watch
You
it
can
on the
just
network.
rewatch it on like Wednesday or something.
I know, but there's other stuff on the network that you just want to watch.
I don't care.
I care.
This was definitely the best match on the kickoff show,
Oh yeah.
hands down.
Oh, by far.
I just wish and this is not even talking record wise, but I wish the title would have changed hands. I
Not
mean,
at
Cedric's
all.
held it since April. He's held it since Mania 34.
Why stop now? He's good.
Yeah, he's good, but it's about.
But it limits to what you can do if he's champion for so long. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, it's not like AJ Styles who's been held, even like who's held the title since before 34. But they have more routes they can go on the SmackDown roster than the 205 roster, in my opinion. That's why I think it would have been nice getting a heel champion on 205 Live so they can do different things. Moving down the line of the SummerSlam card, Dolph Ziggler loses the Intercontinental Champion to Seth Rollins tonight.
Yeah, we all picked that one wrong.
Yeah, we all picked that one wrong. We all picked Dolph Ziggler to retain. But it looks like we're going to get these two a lot more in the future.
Yeah.
But
maybe Ziggler's contract is coming up apparently.
I have a feeling he'll resign.
I don't know. He's wanting to do this DZ World Tour thing more and more often now because they had a comedy show the night before SummerSlam.
And he was there.
And he was one of the main headlines because Miz went up there and did a couple of the wrestlers got up there. I think Charlie Caruso got up there and had an act. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Ziggler does.
But match wise, what did you think, Rachel?
It was a good match. It was a pretty good match. I told you guys earlier I would have rather have seen a Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah.
Between just Rollins, Ambrose, McIntyre, and Ziggler. I'd rather have seen that than just a one-on-one with two managers.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, when we picked these, Dean wasn't even a part of it yet, so we didn't know that.
Right. And so, I mean, that's
think that
probably...
played a factor
I think
in our
if Dean
picks.
would have been back, I would have picked Rollins.
Oh, I'm sure we all would have. Yeah.
Well, and
It would
okay,
have made sense.
I'm going off topic and I'm skipping ahead. But if I would have known ahead of time what Samoa Joe was going to do on SmackDown this past week on this past Tuesday,
I would have picked AJ. No,
I would have picked Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you knew when Samoa Joe said all that, AJ is going to lose via DQ because something's going to happen at pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And he's just going to go berserk.
Can I make a motion going forward on the show?
What?
Predictions on the Wednesday after Monday night or Tuesday night.
I said that before and you guys said no.
I think we need to start doing that.
I said it before and you guys said no.
Because
how would we do that?
On phone. Because that's twice.
Yeah.
I mean that's two matches.
I got potentially screwed over because
I
still would have.
We probably both would have.
I still would have lost because I picked Daniel Bryan over the Miz, and Pat still would have gotten that point.
But I mean, I think
it would help in the future if we did that.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's no discrepancy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're right. I would have picked. I mean, with Dean, I would have picked Seth
We would
Rollins.
have picked Seth
And then
Rollins.
after
We would have
that,
picked.
we probably would have. All of us would have probably been more inclined to pick Samoa.
I probably still would have actually gone Ziggler.
I would have probably still gone AJ, honestly.
I would
I
have
don't
gone.
know.
I would have gone Samoa
Still-
Joe, and I would have stuck with Ziggler
I would
'Cause-
I
have
wouldn't have stuck with Ziggler.
because then I
Oh,
figured
not
that
Ziggler. No.
I wouldn't have stuck with Ziggler because why would you bring Amber? Well, this is a
because
topic for the car
because
ride,
we
but-
talked about it before that Ambrose and Rollins are rumored to start tagging together again.
Yeah,
So that's how I would have figured it.
yeah. But moving
Anyway,
on,
moving on.
Yep.
Pat, what did you think of the match?
Well, it was an all right match. I mean, it didn't stand out to me. They're both good. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't get that wow factor from it at all. Seth is capable of doing more. He just didn't deliver for me tonight. And Ziggler, I mean, it was typical Ziggler doing what he does best. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So it gets a B- for me on that one. It's in the middle.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's definitely.
It wasn't. I mean,
It
I thought it
definitely
was
wasn't-
good.
It wasn't the best match. But
It wasn't match of the
definitely not
night,
worst
but
match.
we'll get to that later.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
That's
but-
why I meant in the middle. B-.
It was an alright match. It was an alright match.
I give it a B plus A minus.
Better than
in
an
that
Extreme
area.
Rules match.
Oh yeah, no
Oh
doubt.
Lord, yes.
Better than the Extreme Rules match.
That was definitely better than the Extreme Rules match.
I agree. But all right, moving on from that one, we're moving on to the United States Championship with Shinsuke Nakamura against Jeff Hardy.
Best part of the match, them mocking each
They
other.
were making. If
The
you haven't seen
yes.
it, go back and go watch it.
Oh yeah, just go
It
back
makes
and
it
look
worth
at
it.
They
Jeff
make
Hardy
fun of
mocking
each other.
Shinsuke.
Oh, Jeff Hardy was better than Shinsuke.
That was
Oh,
comical.
yeah. That was awesome.
mocking
But
each other.
Shinsuke's reaction to
face
it, though,
just
was
like,
like,
oh, what are
face
you
was
doing?
the
What?
best. He wasn't expecting it at all.
he
No,
wasn't.
that was the saddest I've ever seen him.
Not a bad match.
No,
Better than
wasn't
I thought
bad,
it was
man.
gonna be.
Shinsuke retained.
It was.
Shinsuke retained. Better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy took a brutal bump
Yeah,
after
he did.
missing on a swanton
Yeah, he did.
on the apron.
But the ending
yeah,
was
it's an
weird
apron.
because you saw Randy Orton come out, went to the ring, didn't go in the ring,
I was
turned
laying
around,
Wait a minute.
and then went back. And his music
James
cut
got
off.
up and left the room.
Yeah.
Pat was still watching the TV. I was laying on the floor taking a nap.
Rayson was done with it. He was just out of it.
Yeah.
He didn't want no
It's
part of
been
the
long.
match.
I heard the music come, but I didn't see the Randy Orton
all
come
he
to the
did
ring.
was just walk down, look at Jeff, turn around, and walk back.
Oh, I saw that.
That's it. That's all he did. And it was like, okay,
I had
well,
my face down on the floor. I wasn't actually
you were,
sleeping,
You were
but
night.
Yeah,
I
I don't
was-
know what that was for,
I don't either.
but I guess
All
we'll have
right.
to figure
Well,
that out later.
yeah. All right. Moving on. The Money in the Bank match, kind of. If Braun loses, he forfeits his Money in the Bank to Kevin Owens.
A brutal squash match.
Brutal squash match, the quickest one of the night. Braun Strowman chokeslammed Kevin Owens onto the ramp. Kevin Owens bounced at least 3 inches, if not 6. That hurt me. That hurt me a lot more than it should have. Braun retained, squash style, big squash style.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Again, that was another win-win for me. If Braun won, I got the point. If Kevin won, he's Money in the Bank. He's Mr. Money in the Bank. So, we don't really need to talk about it.
No, but I want to say
Yeah.
something real quick. Man, Kevin Owens, MVP. He's been taking some of the most brutal bumps. As
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
win.
I agree. That
Man,
poor soul.
I just want to give it up for him because, like you said, he took that choke slam. He bounced up a good 3 to 6 inches
I'm gonna give
from
that
the
man an
steel.
award.
He goes through a table from the top rope.
He
Now,
goes through the table,
from the
through the
cage.
top of a cage, which we saw in person, which hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, just goes in a porta pot, gets thrown off the stage,
Does a frog splash.
goes through a bunch of tables at Money in the Bank.
He goes through a frog. He does a frog splash at Money in the Bank onto Braun Strowman on the announce table.
So, I mean, like you said, we don't need to go into this match more, but I just want to give it up to Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Man, taking all those bumps.
We
MVP.
applaud you.
Better you than me, though.
MVP, just like the whole summer, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
But you know what, though? To wrap it up, I do sense after this feud's done, I want him to go back
it's
to the old KO. The
Oh, it's done.
ruthless, never
Yeah.
backing down KO.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it later, but
Yeah.
this feud is done.
Yeah, I agree.
This feud is done. All right, moving on. The SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte won.
Yep.
Biggest shock of the night, kind of. I mean, I could see it coming, but I wasn't sure. I know you guys kind of did too. But the biggest
Yeah.
shock of the night, Becky Lynch heel turn. I I think we didn't expect it as much as we expected it, so we kind of played it off as if it wasn't going to happen. But,
Speak for yourself. I popped.
well, I know you. Well,
Believe it or
that's what I'm
not.
saying. It's like you wouldn't have popped as hard if you had more of a feeling that it was going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So
It's late. I'm pleased.
I had a feeling it was going to happen when they were hugging in the ring, and Charlotte was kind of covering her mouth and pretty much trying to give Becky instructions on when to do it, what to do. So
you knew. Yeah, I mean,
you knew it. I knew at that point at least.
it kind of
that
reminds you of the
something's going to
Styles
happen.
Nakamura thing when they kept on the camera for a little too long.
Right. Well, I mean, we thought Ambrose was going to turn on Rollins because they kept the camera on him for a little while, but
Yeah.
that didn't happen. Sadly, I was hoping that Ambrose was going to turn.
Right. You know, I thought that too, but now if you've been listening to us for the past couple of weeks, you would know that I repeatedly said, do not turn Becky heel.
That was your final thought of the prediction show.
Correct.
Now that you
I
see
like it now.
Now that you see it,
I
you
like it. I've never seen her angry side, so it was kind of
Well,
like
not-
something new.
Not angry side as a heel, and you've seen
As
her
a
angry
heel.
side as a face.
Well, that's
But
what I
man,
mean,
this
yeah.
anger side is
This is
no
something
other like
else,
we've
yeah.
seen it from her.
I've
it
never
looked
seen
like
it.
her makeup was going to catch up on fire.
Yeah,
like,
her hair was like literal flames.
yeah.
But repeatedly said, I don't want to see it. Now I'm interested. Now I want to see it.
I wanna see what happens Tuesday.
I want to see
I can't
what
wait till
goes on.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, man, Tuesday is gonna be awesome.
I just want to see what they're going to do for Evolution. Hell in
yeah,
a
I'm
Cell,
more excited for
Hell in a
Tuesday.
Cell. Well, yeah, but I mean, Hell in a Cell will come before
Evolution.
It's going to come 2 weeks before
Yeah.
Evolution, because Evolution's the 28th and Hell in a Cell is the 16th.
Maybe we see
I
a
believe
Charlotte
Something
Becky
like that.
title
Something
match.
like- I don't think it's 28th, but
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. Hey,
Good.
Carmella's going to get her rematch in there somewhere.
I think she's gonna get it at Hell in a Cell,
You think she's going to lose?
and I think she's gonna lose.
I
And I
think-
think Becky's gonna.
Becky's probably going to try and cost her, if maybe.
I think Becky's gonna attack her after the match.
Here's how WWE should book it. I think that WWE should let Carmella have her rematch on Tuesday on SmackDown. Have Becky cost Carmella the match because she wants a one-on-one with Charlotte, and then let Carmella go on to face Charlotte inside of a Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell,
I don't
and
want
have
that.
Charlotte win. Why don't you like it? Charlotte was already in the first one with Sasha.
Yeah, but I don't know if
No,
I'm fishy on a Carmella inside of a Hell in a Cell.
I think it would be great. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
If anything, put that new Becky we saw tonight
Yeah,
in Hell in a
put
Cell.
her in there with Charlotte.
That's
I'd
gonna be
love to
must see
that.
television.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be. It's probably gonna be a better match, but you can't ignore the fact that Carmella gets a rematch, and this WWE does it, and which in fact they're gonna make me mad about.
Well, if that's the case, then have Carmella get a rematch Tuesday.
You do that and then have it
'Cause-
be done.
I'm telling you, I'd rather see Becky Lynch in Hell in a Cell with Charlotte the way I saw her tonight.
It's probably gonna be. Honestly, they could have another triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. I'd be okay with that.
I'm fine as long as Becky's inside that match. Because you know what? I'm curious to see what this new anger brings in her.
Oh,
I'm curious.
She's number one on my power rankings.
Me too. Me too.
Not
That's,
mine.
That's
What are
really.
you guys are basing power rankings off potential. James, you said a couple weeks ago you hate. You
Look,
even you
I'm
even
just
you
saying,
even said you
look.
even said in your top 10
Look.
that you don't have Charlotte high because of the potential she might not have later on down in her career. You're basing all of this on potential. What if Becky Lynch as a heel fails epically?
What I
Then
saw
you-
tonight is not going to be a
No,
fail.
I get
No.
that. But what we're seeing in Charlotte now is not going to be a failure 10 years down the road, but you still think that it could possibly
Hey,
happen.
but what I'm saying is put her inside the match and see what happens.
But she shouldn't
She
be a
can't
champ-
fail unless
She
you
should.
use her.
I can agree. I'd agree with you if she's like 3, 4, or 5 on your power rankings, but not 1 or 2.
I put her. Okay, if I had to create a power rankings right now, Becky would be 4.
Charlotte would be
Really?
number 1 for me
She'd
because
be number 2.
Okay, who would you have as number 1?
AJ.
Roman?
AJ.
Roman.
Oh yeah, I'd probably have Roman too.
I would
I would have Roman at number 1. Are you kidding?
I'd have Roman.
He just beat
I'd-
Brock.
Yeah. So Roman
don't,
1.
Don't spoilers.
Right, spoiler alert.
No, it would probably be Roman 1,
Now that it comes
AJ
out
2,
after.
Charlotte 3. I mean, you can't have AJ outside the top 2 because even though he
I
got
place him 4.
disqualified,
I'd place him 4 or 5 because he won he lost.
yeah, but
actually.
man, that mean streak he showed. I mean, even though he lost his qualification,
I'd put Samoa Joe
I got-
honestly higher because Samoa Joe brought that side out of him.
Yeah, but he didn't like it when he came out.
Right, yeah.
No, but
I
but when again, okay, it's the same scenario with Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, it will say Samoa Joe beat
Oh yeah.
AJ Styles at SummerSlam. No
I
matter
agree.
what. Doesn't
I
matter
agree.
if there's a DQ in the column next to
Yeah.
it. Doesn't matter. It will say Samoa Joe defeated AJ Styles at SummerSlam.
I agree.
Yep.
So
Still win.
Samoa Joe is up there above AJ for me.
I don't know
that's
about
what- that's what-
above.
That's the good
He's
thing.
right below him.
Yeah.
Top 5. I'm gonna come my top 5 right now. Number 1, Roman Reigns. Number 2, Charlotte. Number 3, Samoa Joe. Number 4, AJ. Number 5, Seth Rollins.
Becky ain't even in your top 5?
No, she'd be 6.
Wow. I don't
After
know.
what you
I
just
agree
saw,
with. Okay,
really?
I can
Yeah.
agree with
Oh,
Rollins
Lord.
being 5, but here's my thing.
Yeah.
AJ did get disqualified, but he still walked out champion.
Right? Exactly.
Did.
Exactly.
You can't argue
There's no
with
more
putting him
arguing.
above
I
I
need to
have a
make
feeling
my.
we can argue.
I don't need to
all
argue
night long.
I don't
but
need
it's
to
not
argue
gonna
my power
change our
5
opinion.
because I know I'm right.
Well, you know.
You guys are obviously aren't going to agree, but
Nah, that's what I'm saying. We can
You're
argue
right
all
in
night
your own
long, but it's
mind.
not going to change anything. So we're going to go ahead and move on.
Right.
That's to the Raw Women's Championship, and where we saw Ronda Rousey become the new champion over Alexa Bliss. And-
before we go on, you guys are Beavis because you know I'm right about my top 5. Because you know I'm
Wrong.
right. That's why you don't argue.
Wrong.
We've got
Oh, I
another
could-
half
oh, I
hour
could
recording
argue.
to go.
Oh,
No,
I
we
could
don't.
argue.
If we want to. I know
I
Pat has
don't
to
want
work in the
to.
morning,
I
so
unfortunately do have to work tomorrow.
But
James and I don't.
moving on to the Raw Women's Championship,
We already moved on.
yeah, I know. I'm
I
waiting
had to
for
go
you
back.
to move on.
I had to go back. Okay,
Yeah.
I moved on.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss lost. Fair and square. I hated it. Squash match. No more. We're done.
Pat, same.
No, we're
same
done.
thoughts.
I'm done.
We're done.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
done
wanna
with-
talk about
I'm
it.
done
We're
with
done.
this match too.
We're done.
I
Bella's got booed. I don't know why. New York is a dumb crowd.
That's the highlight of the
I don't
night.
get it.
Yep.
That was a highlight of that match.
So let's go on to the match we were just kind of briefly talking about. AJ Styles retained the championship. However, he lost by via disqualification. Rayson, obviously this is going to set up for another match down the future. This is far from over between these two. What was your thoughts about the match in general, and what would you like to see pan out in the future?
It was a good match. Kind of boring to begin with. Once it got toward the middle and toward the end, it obviously got more interesting.
Yeah.
Because Samoa Joe stood up on an announce table, grabbed a mic, and just started berating AJ Styles and his wife again.
Yep.
He told Styles' wife, he said, "You don't have to worry about daddy coming home because I'm your new daddy." He told that to Styles' wife and his daughter.
That was the wrong
So-
thing to say.
Well, yeah.
It made it personal, but that's what
Yeah.
brought the match to what it was.
Yep.
Well, it was already personal, but
Yeah.
that's what threw AJ over the top. I mean, he would have kept his cool if Samoa Joe wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone, and I actually had Samoa Joe before, because these are my original picks.
Okay.
So I had Samoa Joe, but I did change to AJ Styles. AJ Styles lost, which sucks. But Pat,
Well, like you said, it was a very personal match. Samoa Joe kept bringing up his wife Wendy and his daughter. It was a very good match. I think there towards the beginning it was a little bit laggy. Then in the end it really, really picked up, like James said.
no, like I said,
They're-
I'll give James
Yeah,
credit for it.
don't give me that credit.
He said it too. I didn't hear you say it. I'm sorry.
I didn't say
I
it.
said it, and he
said it.
agreed.
Yeah, I just agreed.
Pat has
Okay.
not been paying attention at all tonight.
Pat is tired and has to work in the morning.
Anyway, yeah. I don't blame AJ for going berserk.
Me either.
I mean, if someone were to ever talk about my family like that, man, I'm gonna beat the crap out of him with a chair. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I mean, it was a decent match for me. I mean, like you were saying, Rayson and Pat, you agreed. Very slow start. Definitely picked up the middle, and the ending was good. I would like to see this match accumulate to a Hell in a Cell match.
It's probably gonna go further than that.
I mean, it's probably going to go further, but at least want to see that match happen at Hell in a Cell. Just because I think it'd be a good match between these two. I mean, we're seeing a side of AJ we haven't seen since his WWE career.
A no DQ match, so like a Hell in a Cell match would benefit AJ
It would.
with this current feud that he's got, and especially how over the top Samoa Joe's been.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
It'd be a good one
it'd
to
be
see.
a good match, and I'm curious to see how they're gonna unfold this storyline as we move forward.
All right, and moving on to the final match of the night. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
I just want to start off by saying
Thank God.
God.
You.
Thank God.
Thank God.
It's been a long time
Way
coming.
too long.
All right, so for those of you who haven't watched the pay-per-view yet, I'm going to say spoiler alert. Right now, we've already talked about it, so I'm sorry for earlier.
Okay, if you're watching this
Before,
Well, I mean,
watching
we're-
SummerSlam, there's
we're-
something wrong with
thank you.
But, well, I mean, if they haven't had the opportunity yet,
Yeah.
because this is going to come out on Monday.
Yeah, but it's a reaction show, obviously. Duh, spoilers.
I
Well,
want to put spoil alerts in the.
I'm just going to say, you don't have to.
Description.
I'm just going to say it right now. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
I mean, you've had enough time to click away now, so I'm just going to say it. Roman Reigns won.
Yeah.
Right before the match, Braun Strowman comes down to the ring and says, "Whoever wins, I'm cashing in on you." Honestly, I don't know about you two, but I thought that he was going to cash in and it was going to be a triple threat match. I was calling him dumb. I was calling him,
every word in the book.
yeah, some words I can't repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying he would have been ridiculous to do it,
Yeah.
to make it a triple threat match. I mean, I was thinking, okay, he's not even pulling a Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did it in the middle of the match. He's just going to do it right here, right now. But then he said, I'm going to whoever wins, I'm going to cash it in on you.
Yeah. Which I think is the way it
Yeah.
should.
But they didn't do that.
No, I don't agree with that. Because then, I mean, what happens if Roman Reigns were to have, because he went berserk, like 3 or 4 Superman punches, 2 or 3 spears.
Yeah.
What if he would have won right then and there? He's just barely breaking a sweat.
That's true. Well, I mean,
I'd
it looked
wait-
like for a minute we were going to have another Goldberg situation there at the Survivor Series match.
We kind of, no, not Survivor Series, WrestleMania.
It was WrestleMania.
It was Survivor Series.
Are you talking about
The first match when
well,
Goldberg
then, yeah.
spear,
done?
Hammer and then done.
done.
Oh. I didn't think it was going to happen that way.
But early on, I mean, it kind of gave that vibe.
It could have happened. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Match of the night for me. I'm
Really?
gonna
I would,
say,
I would actually have to agree with that.
I'd say match of the night because you think Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and you think, oh, it's the same old crap again and again and again, and it was tonight.
I mean,
There was high intensity match.
This was a
high
good
intensity
match.
It wasn't Brock Lesnar getting speared 3 times and then hitting an F5 to win.
yeah.
It
Right.
was Brock Lesnar getting speared 2 or 3 times, Superman punched 3 or 4 times, and on the 3rd spear, he locked in a guillotine,
Yeah.
and that intensified the match.
But you know what really set this match apart from the other Lesnar Reigns matches? It wasn't long.
No, it wasn't.
The others were
yeah.
long and you just wanted it in. This was action-packed and quick, which I think is what made the huge difference of being a good and bad match.
I think Braun had something to do with it, too, because they knew,
True.
because people thought Braun was going to cash in.
Yeah.
He actually didn't cash in because Brock took his Money in the Bank briefcase and threw it all the way up the ramp, actually hit the
Jumbo Titan.
the
yeah.
bottom part of the where the entrances are. He threw the briefcase and hit the middle part of that.
Yeah.
So
I think WWE learned a valuable lesson from WrestleMania 34. I think they
Definitely
took that
they did.
into
Yeah, and-
consideration and was like, we can't repeat that.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell
And
if you watch the pay-per-view and if, you know, the crowd was not having that match.
Yeah.
They were
chanted,
not having
You
it.
both suck.
Yeah.
oh yeah, they did. I thought that was
That was pretty fun.
real fun. That was a good part of the match.
Yeah. But we're
I
just
almost started
happy-
chanting in with him, but then
Yeah.
it kind of died down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it died down really quick, but I mean, it just shows. I mean, the fans were only I can guarantee you if Braun didn't come out of the ramp, it might have had I mean, Rachel, you made a good point. If Braun wasn't there, it could have had a different feel.
It would have been a little
Still
more
would've-
hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a little more hostile.
Yeah.
All right, so last 2 subjects. James and I have pretty much already said favorite match was Lesnar versus Reigns.
Pat, what
See,
was your favorite match? Real quick.
I gotta go with that one too. I had
Okay.
to give it some thought, but yes, that's that one.
Okay.
The
Sorry to
the only
interrupt you
other
there.
no, you're fine. The only other option for me was the women's match, but when you go back and look and think about it, there were too many whiffs, too many botches
Yeah.
for it to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was still a good match, but too many botches for it to be, you know, what it was. And for a Lesnar Reigns match, this was like top of the card.
Mhm.
This one deserved to be a main event.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now, the other ones didn't. This one did.
I'm not complaining about this
So
match.
I'm not either.
A+ match.
Brock's no longer champion. He can go to UFC for as long as I don't care.
It made Roman look strong.
Roman looks strong.
And
Yeah.
Braun's not. He didn't look weak because he took an F5 and
he's
a couple hits from his own briefcase that Brock gave to him.
yeah.
So he doesn't look weak. He hasn't cashed in yet.
So it makes you wonder what's happened next with Braun aspect as well.
Right.
The interesting thing for me was that the only physicality that Reigns and Strowman had was Reigns went to hit Lesnar with a spear. Lesnar moved, and Reigns flew through the ropes and hit Strowman. That was the only physicality those two had.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll have to definitely check out Monday Night Raw.
And you remember
Absolutely.
Brock hit Braun with an F5.
I said that.
He already said that, but
And he beat him with his own briefcase.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I get it. You're tired, but
I really
we're all
am.
tired. It's like midnight. It's past midnight on recording time.
Yeah.
So,
Pardon
on
my
Sunday, so-
tiredness.
right, yeah.
so
pardon
we
all
were
of
talking
our
about the best matches of the night. What do you think the worst match of
Bliss.
the night?
Rousey Bliss.
All right, you say Rousey
No
Bliss.
I'm going to go with Miz and Daniel Bryan.
It had an exciting end, so
Yeah, it had a good ending.
It did, but
I was expecting Rousey to win. I knew she was going to win. I knew she was going to win in squash fashion
Yeah.
because, I mean, it was there was 40 minutes until 11 o'clock.
yeah.
So I knew it was going to be squash match all day.
Yeah. No, I get why you put it there.
I don't.
but I
That's
had
the
to
worst
put,
match. Wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
Raceland.
definitely second.
I agree with Raceland. I think Miz, Daniel Bryan, and Alexa Bliss Rousey were definitely the worst two matches of the night. But the ending of the Miz Bryan and the potential going forward makes it not the worst match of the night. I think just for me, Alexa Bliss has been championed so many times for WWE on both brands, and then she gets squashed.
To screw her over like this just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it does, and it's
If you didn't watch, if you haven't listened to our top 10 women's wrestlers of all time, I talked about this then, and I'm going to talk about it now just in case you haven't listened to it yet. The reason I don't like Rousey, I think that I found out that I don't like Rousey, is because she didn't cut her teeth in NXT or any business beforehand. So that's probably my biggest problem with her, and she's getting these matches so quick.
yeah,
So that's my biggest problem with Rousey right now.
I agree.
yeah, and she made her debut match at WrestleMania 34 in April. It is now late August, and she's champion.
August 20th.
And she's
August
champion.
19th, August 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
As of recording.
That's quick.
Right.
And she's
It's
only had
too
3
quick.
singles matches. That was her 3rd singles match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and one of them was on Raw. She's only
Against
had
Alicia Fox.
one
I
Raw
mean,
match, and that was a squash match.
Oh, yeah.
The only non-squash match she had, so the Nine Jacks match wasn't a squash. Keep wanting to call it a squash. Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
And the Angle, the mixed tag team match with Angle and Stephanie, and she's had 2 squash matches. She's had a mixed tag team match and a match against Nia Jax, which she didn't even get to finish because Alexa came in and cost her the title.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my problem. She hasn't cut her teeth long enough for me to like her. If she drags this out, she like we've talked about before, she wants to resign.
Yeah.
This kind of gives confirmation that she's going to resign.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. She makes money. She's a big name. And
It helps
because she's a
WWE.
big name on outside of the WWE market, it could attract new viewers that you wouldn't have gotten before.
Right. You
But,
could bring in
man,
UFC viewers and
Yeah, but for your initial fan base, I can probably say, I mean, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm not going to speak for everybody, but it's probably a good 60-40, 70-30 split. Whether 60-70% of the people might like
not
the move or may not like the move. I mean, we can go either way with the numbers, but
right. It's
Right.
one or the other.
it's definitely not unanimous.
It's not 50-50.
No.
And it's definitely not going to be, for as much as she has a pop, I'd say it's probably 70% like it, 30% don't.
And that's what I'm leaning
And
towards.
I don't know.
I'm in the 30.
I'm in the 30.
Me too.
I mean,
So-
if this would have happened at WrestleMania 35, I would have probably been in the 70 because
I
it gave
would
her a
have.
year. But
I would have. No, I
well,
wouldn't.
and the reason I
I'd
want,
still be in the 30.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm just going to
I'd
the reason
give-
I would go to 70 is because she's putting on good matches. I mean, tonight was bad.
Yeah, she's put. Well, I mean, it wasn't awful, but it was just so predictable. You
It
knew
was
it
very
was coming.
predictable.
Oh yeah.
You knew
Yeah.
it was coming. That's what made it the worst match of the night for me.
Yeah, and I just didn't like the way they treated Alexa Bliss in this match. I think
No, she's been a staple.
she's been a staple in this division.
both Raw and SmackDown.
Yep.
Just for the women's wrestlers in general.
That's kind of like, let's put this in more of perspective, her doing that to Charlotte.
What, like WWE doing it to Charlotte?
Yeah. Ronda
Yeah.
squashing Charlotte. I mean,
It wouldn't have been a squash match for Charlotte because Charlotte's more dominant than
yeah,
Alexa.
but what I'm saying is, though, is they were both staples in this division
Right,
on
right.
both brands. So
Right.
you can kind of compare and contrast a little bit. And yeah. So,
Right. All
final
right.
thought?
Final thought of the night. Boy, this was rough. You've got to go somewhere with Daniel Bryan and Miz.
Yeah.
The match tonight was too pitiful.
Yeah.
Not pitiful enough, obviously, for my worst match of the night, but pitiful enough to where it was pretty close. If it didn't have that exciting ending where Miz gets the brass knuckles from Maurice, probably would have been the worst match of the night for me. But you've definitely got to go somewhere good with this. That means Daniel Bryan has to resign. Contract is up at the end of the month, beginning of September. Definitely he has to resign. And they have to go. This has to be a good feud. If not, Miz is going to be right, but this return is going to be a bust because he hasn't done squat.
Yep.
He lost at SummerSlam. He beat Big Cass, who's no longer with the company, who was fired the next day after losing to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
So far, to me, if his return's kind of been a bust. I agree with Miz. So you got to go somewhere with this, or else it's going to backfire and it won't look good.
I think that's a unanimous agreement
I
among
agree
the
with
table.
that. Yeah.
Pat, what's your final thought?
I want to see more of this.
Becky Lynch, we
Becky,
get it.
No, I
Oh.
wasn't gonna say Becky.
Wow.
Really?
I want to see more of this mean AJ. I want to see more of that against Samoa Joe, man.
Okay.
That was cool.
I'm going to tell you how tired I am right now. You said mean AJ. I'm thinking AJ Lee.
No, not AJ Lee. No.
I'm
Lord.
so tired, man. I'm so tired.
No, I wanna
thought
see
you
more-
meant AJ because I was just talking about women, the women's division. And I
You're
was
like,
like,
wait, why is he
Wow.
talking about
AJ,
AJ
what the
Lee?
heck? When did this
Wow.
happen?
She's not
came
here
back?
anymore.
What, how long did I nap?
Did I actually fall asleep? I didn't think I did.
But no, I want to see more of this AJ. I liked what I saw with him tonight. He just no holds barred, didn't care. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. Want to see more. Definitely intrigued.
Okay, before you go, James, I have another final thought. And they're just too massive to not keep out. Both keep it. I can't choose between one, so I'm gonna go with both. Another final thought. What the heck are they doing with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton? I don't like it. It's ridiculous.
What's up with your alarm
Dude,
clock?
No.
It's been 5 minutes, so.
Yeah, I don't
don't-
know. I'm about to throw it out the window.
Well, there's one window and it's on the door. so
So I
going
prefer you
out.
didn't.
please don't break that. Please
I'll
don't break
throw it
that.
out the door.
I don't like what they're doing with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. It just needs to stop. Especially after what happened tonight, Randy Orton walking to the ring and walking away. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I'm done with it. The universe is probably done with it too. So anyway, sorry. James.
It's all good. That's a quality. That's a quality thought.
We need to finish this before I start going on more rants.
I put
Yeah.
the watch in the bag.
that
Don't
works
worry.
for me.
Good.
That works for me.
My final thought is, Rachel, I'm going to follow you on this. I think is they have to do something here with the Daniel Bryan Miz feud, and because, I remember like it was just yesterday we got the alert on the WWE app on our phones that Daniel Bryan has been cleared, and we were jumping for joy, calling each other. It was like Christmas morning for us, and then
It really was.
and then here we are a few months later, and it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, he's been out of the action for a while, but I did not anticipate his return being this way. I mean,
all.
literally, you had the Team Hell No reunited, and unfortunately, Kane got hurt. So-
Honestly, I completely forgot they did Team Hell No
well, it was so quick.
because it was too quick and it was kind of forgettable.
Oh,
But,
honestly,
but here's the thing, though. I'm not going to throw them under the bus for that
No,
because
not
you
either,
can't.
but-
It's an injury. You can't help
that
it.
and he's
Right. Well,
Kane's mayor.
He's
now.
mayor.
Yeah, he's mayor now. Congratulations.
I don't think he's probably not actually injured. It just like came time for him to kind of settle down for a minute.
Yeah, and even if
Yeah.
so, congratulations, Kane.
Yep.
we
Because you
support
saw
you.
him on the podium, he was walking fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
Yeah.
So,
So he's
no
he's
boot,
fine.
nothing.
But we
He's
know beyond that, we're glad that he moved on to a mayor candidacy, and mayor position, so
he's
we're
doing
happy
good
for him. That's
himself.
awesome.
Yeah. Good
But
for
yeah,
him.
I mean, then you had that one match with AJ, which was decent, but the match got interrupted by Shinsuke, and then
Right.
Yeah.
we had the big Cass feud, which is horrible, and
That was bad.
then what else? I mean, you can't name any other feuds. I mean,
No,
he
well,
was in the
I think that's been it.
well, he had the tag team match with Shane and versus Kevin and Sammy, which was I
Yeah.
forget about that match sometimes. So
I don't, because I hate both Daniel Bryan and Shane for it.
Yeah, but you're a big Kevin
Because
Owens
I'm the
fan.
biggest Kevin Owens fan.
I mean, it was a decent match, but it was just one that
Right.
got lost in the shuffle.
You know
for
who?
me.
You know who WWE needs to send against Daniel Bryan? Who they need to put Daniel Bryan against?
Who?
To kind of just take a break. And I talked about this earlier, so I've hinted at it.
What?
Shinsuke versus Daniel.
Yeah.
The American Dragon, as he was in ROH, versus the King of Strong Style from New Japan.
Now,
Yeah.
would you put him in the title picture?
Yes.
That'd be pretty
You know
cool.
what though? That could work.
I mean,
It would make something relevant of this new Daniel Bryan return.
Jeff Hardy lost, so they need something else to do with the United States Championship. I don't know if you want to do. Tournament style or just have a couple matches, whatever. I'm sure we'll figure out on Tuesday, if not the Tuesday after.
I think it's gonna be Tuesday.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
I think Miz. I don't want to say he will, but I wouldn't be surprised if WWE has Miz take some time off for a little bit, because back to what WWE should do. So WWE should.
This should become a segment.
This should become an entire segment. How they should book it.
This is no longer final thought.
This is no longer final. That I'm going back on rants now. We need to wrap this up here in a minute. We'll do it after I'm done with this.
We'll do that, and then grades for the show, and then wrap
Right.
up.
All right. So
You can do that once you
we'll do
wrap
that,
it up.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm having you
Yes,
outro.
we'll
I
do this.
know. I know.
So
Already bragging.
how they should book it is Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke. Daniel Bryan wins United States Championship. Miz takes some time off. Comes time for, I don't know if you want to do it like Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or whatever pay-per-view is Fastlane before Mania.
Fastlane's the last pay-per-view.
Do the mixed tag team match between the two, and then have, because honestly, I don't want to see Miz and Maurice against another Bella and her man at SummerSlam, because we saw it once. It was okay, not that good, whatever.
Don't want it again.
Yeah, I mean, and I can tell you we were in the crowd for that at WrestleMania 33. and-
YouTuber.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Pat and I was, and the crowd was not into it.
Dang it, Pat.
That
I
watch,
shut it
man.
off, I swear.
But yeah,
Anyway.
the crowd wasn't into it. I don't think they're gonna try it. But
To finish my booking, you've got, because then that's another thing that Miz takes his break. He can come back and say, "I beat Daniel Bryan. Where's my U.S. title match?" And it'd be Daniel Bryan versus Miz for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. That's how I would book it.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's not
still
a bad
upset that he's away from the Intercontinental Championship.
Man, he can
I'm
make
really-
the U.S. title
Yeah,
prestigious.
I know, but him
He
and the
hasn't held the
Intercontinental
US title.
Championship is
They go
like
hand in
bread
hand.
and butter.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them experiment with the U.S. title with him.
yeah, me too. Be something.
Yeah, but I
refresh
definitely want
it.
him
Be
to
something
hold it
different.
again.
I mean, really, the United States
He hasn't-
Championship hasn't been.
He hasn't held it in a while.
No.
No, yeah.
Because he's like we said, he's been hand in hand with the IC title.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he's held it since then, but I don't know if he's held it since back when he was doing his cocky character.
I'll have to
gimmick.
look back, but I don't think he has. It's been a long time.
Since he was like when he teamed up with John Morrison.
It's been
Years
a long
and
time.
years. I think it's been a while. I'm sure it probably has happened at least once since then, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap things up on the reaction show, let's start with you, Raceland. Grade of the show.
For the show, I give the grade of. I'll give it a B.
All right.
B minus.
Alrighty. B minus official.
B. I'll give it a B.
B. And we heard from our good friend Eddie. I got to respond back
Did
from
we?
him.
Did we hear
I
Eddie?
did.
What's Eddie's response?
Eddie gives it a B.
Eddie gives it a B.
Eddie gives it a B.
Okay. Did he talk about Roman with you yet at all? Or?
No, I
We'll
just
do it
I just
later.
asked him SummerSlam
His
grade
grade.
with a question mark.
Right. Okay. All right, Pat.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna go B-.
B minus.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to be that guy just yet. James hasn't said.
I know,
James
but
could go
I'm
B-.
sure he's probably gonna go B+.
We'll see. James, B minus, B plus.
C.
So, if you say it's A,
No,
F?
it's not an A show. It's a B plus for me.
F.
B plus.
C.
Because I'm looking at the
Shut
show.
up, Pat.
Yeah, no, I give it a B.
Oh,
A flat
quitter.
B. Because
You quitter.
well, the reason I was going to go B plus, but then I'm thinking of Ms. Bryan did not deliver like I was hoping. I mean, the Ronda Rousey Alexa Bliss match was a squash. I mean that's honestly the difference between a B and a B plus for me.
Yeah,
I think the main event was an A, and the other matches
yeah.
were decent. I mean, the other matches were pretty good. So I mean, I give it a B plus. I mean, this may be the best show since WrestleMania 34.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and kind of look at the cards, but I'd have to probably agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, honestly.
I mean, obviously I'm going on a limb, but it's hard to find a show right now that I was like
I'd probably
left
agree
out
with
happy.
you. I'd probably agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is they did the right thing. Roman beating Brock.
Once again, thank God.
Thank God.
Amen to that.
All right, well, that's going to do it for
No.
us. No, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Let me do my thing.
Let him be sad
Alrighty.
in his moment.
Alrighty.
Let him be sad and announce
Alrighty.
it.
We're going to wrap this up. But before we do, we have a new predictions champion,
Yes, you do.
and it is Pat.
It is
Yep.
Pat.
I
Pat
am
is the
your
new predictions champion. Pat, I had paid $30 in total. I need $10 from you. And James, when you win it, I need $10 from you.
IOU's work. Does
Can I
that-
create a tab?
Does that, yeah,
You don't have to pay me for it. I don't care.
But yeah, I am
When-
your new Wrestle Talk with Three Goofballs predictions champion.
When we buy an actual championship
No,
belt,
we are chipping in for that.
when we buy an actual
Oh
one,
yeah.
my cost is deducted by $30,
agree
and you guys can
agree.
pay an
I-
extra $15.
I agree.
I agree with
Apiece,
that.
so-
Yeah.
Now,
we'll just
Pat,
put this in the Wrestle Talk with Three Goofballs Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So Pat, you are the new
The Hall of
predictions
Fame
champion,
is going to be my house.
Yeah.
Because
That's fine.
but you are predictions champion. But I think it is
Um,
worth noting that on the next episode,
the next episode,
we are going to crown the first ever
lunchbox
lunchbox holder.
Yep.
Now, the lunchbox is just a wacky idea that we just came up with, and
It's a lunchbox. It's a WWE Money in the Bank lunchbox that I bought off of WWE Shop for $5, and I put gold duct tape over it so we wouldn't get copyrighted.
Right.
And I just took mailbox lettering, and I put our initials, the WT3G, and I put lunchbox on it.
yeah.
So it's called the lunchbox.
Now we'll have to put a picture on.
We will put
something,
a
'cause
picture up. We
it's-
still haven't even put a picture up, so we'll take Pat's picture with
Yeah.
the title and we'll put it up on social media later.
Yeah.
Yep.
But how it works is, on the next episode, we're going to open up the show. Since Pat is the reigning champion, he's going to come up with 10 questions to ask Raceland and myself on the next episode. Now, whoever answers the most questions correctly between Raceland and me will become the lunchbox holder. Now, here's the stipulation. That lunchbox holder has until from the time they win it
Until Hell in a Cell.
until, are we going Hell in a Cell or Survivor
Well,
Series?
It would be until the next
Big Four.
Big Four. Yeah.
Okay, so Survivor Series.
Survivor
They will have
Series,
until
yes.
Survivor Series to cash in. However,
Yeah,
there's
we're going to get a little complicated with this.
No,
so,
It's not
However-
very complicated.
since Hell in a Cell is before Survivor Series, if the lunchbox holder becomes champion,
so for example, James becomes predictions champion, and he holds the lunchbox. The lunchbox would then be vacated until Survivor Series.
correct.
So then let's say after Survivor Series, Pat is champion again. James and I would go again for the lunchbox.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we thought it'd be a cool thing to kind of spice things up, But yeah, I mean,
Definitely make it interesting.
it's definitely going to be interesting next Sunday on the recording to see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Wrestle Talk with Three Goofballs and the Reaction Show. I am Pat, alongside me is Raceland and James, and we will see you next time.
I'm ready for bed.